Welcome to MySchool Onboarding. In this first step, you're required to build terms and timetables for your school system. Please read through the main knowledge base articles for further explanation of how terms and timetables are integral to your school system. Let's start the wizard. First off is term management. Each of the school levels needs to have a term setup. So let's start with Kinder. Enter the label and the date range for the term. As we can see, the date fields are mandatory and the wizard will ask for dates to be entered. We have now created a 4-term setup in this example. Notice how the dates run from September to June with no holidays. This is an option, and holiday breaks can be added using the holiday management tool after completion. Now let's look at the timetable. Click on the next step. There are some default periods already set up. You can continue with these or delete using the red cross. In the timetable configuration, you can see there is a field for the period name, its start and end times, and also you can determine whether the period should be roll call, meaning that it requires attendance, a lesson, needed so that it can have scheduled courses, or a break. All roll call periods must be made lessons as well. Let's delete this setup and build for Kinder. The wizard requires you to at least have one period within your timetable configuration. So let's add one and call it roll call. It is common that attendance is taken in the first period of the day. So let's check it as a roll call and make it a lesson as well. If you wish, after, you can create a subject and a course can be scheduled in this period so that attendance is taken every day that the school is open. Let's now complete the setup, which is typically used for early years. Each school level can be different, and Kinder does not need to have the same amount of periods as secondary, for example. Let's now move to the primary level. Click on the next step. Each school level can have a different term setup, and these can be amended afterwards if you need to split this by class level even further. A class level in MySchool is a year or grade group. So let's do a simple 2-semester for primary. Again, you can change the timetable to add a few more periods. Let's say that primary has a roll call in the morning and one in the afternoon session. In middle school, we can put in a trimester with a mid-yearly and full-year reporting period. Just make sure you've read through the articles for term management to fully understand how the assessment periods are built. In this case, term 1 to 3 will not be for publishing, whereas mid-yearly and year-long will allow for assessment reports. We'll use a similar setup as the timetable as we did in primary. So finally for secondary, we can use another system of term organisation and use quadrimesters. Let's complete the timetable as well. We now see that the next button has changed to save. Before we complete this initial step in the onboarding wizard, let's use the back button to go through the setup. Again, all of these settings can be tweaked in term management and administer timetables after completion. Let's now go check everything. So, go to the Administer menu header to the left and open Advanced Options. Firstly, let's check our term management. We can see that the dates and terms have been created. So now let's check the timetable. And again, we see that periods have been added and applied to the appropriate class levels. Now, you can move on to the next step in the wizard, which is importing students.